countries based on lies. And we're not a good country when the President of the United States claims for himself powers that are not contained in the Constitution. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up in St. Louis Park, Minnesota.
Yeah!
I grew up in a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. My dad was a printing salesman. He didn't graduate high school. It was me, my brother, my mom, and dad. And I considered myself the luckiest kid in the world because I was. Because I was growing up middle class in America during the height of the middle class in America.
Yeah!
And my parents stressed education. And my brother was the first in our family to go to college, and he went to MIT and got a degree in physics. And announced upon graduation to my parents that he was going to be a photographer. And he was a photographer for Gene McCarthy in the 1968 presidential campaign. And I was lucky enough to go to Harvard. And after being there a little less than a year, I called my parents and told them I was going to be a comedian. My poor parents. I was also lucky enough to meet my wife the first week of school, first week of college. When my daughter was 6 years old, her first grade teacher assigned the kids to write, how'd your parents meet? So my daughter came home and I told her, I said, well, it was at a freshman mixer, which is a dance, and I saw your mom across the room gathering up some other girls to leave, and I liked the way she was taking charge. And she was beautiful, and I asked her to dance, and we danced, and I bought her a ginger ale, and I escorted her back to her dorm and asked her for a date. And my daughter wrote it up. My dad asked my mom to dance, bought her a drink, and took her home. And we think that's going to be the Republicans' first attack ad against me. My wife didn't grow up as lucky as I did. When she was 17 months old, her father, a World War II vet, decorated vet from the Battle of the Bulge, died in a car accident on the way home from his shift at the paper mill, leaving her mother, my mother-in-law, widowed at age 29 with 5 kids. But they made it. And they made it because of Social Security survivor benefits. Sometimes there wasn't enough food on the table at the end of the month. Sometimes they turned the heat off in the winter, and this was Portland, Maine. But they made it, and every member of Franny's family became a productive member of society. My brother-in-law Neil went into the Coast Guard and became an electrical engineer. He still works with the Coast Guard. My 3 sisters-in-law and my wife all went to college and graduated with Pell Grants and other scholarships. A full Pell Grant in those days paid for 86% of a public college education. Today it pays for less than 40%. That's wrong. And when I go to Washington, I'm going to help Harry Reid change that. My mother-in-law, when the youngest one in the family, Bootsy, went to high school, my mother-in-law applied for a $300 GI loan to fix a hole in her roof. But instead of using it to fix a hole in her roof, she used it to go to college at the University of Maine at Gorham. And she got 3 more loans, graduated, became an elementary school teacher, and taught Title I because of Pell Grants, because of the GI Bill, because of Social Security. You know, they tell you in this country to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. And I know that everybody in this room, every Democrat in this room believes that. But we also know that first you gotta have the boots. My wife's family didn't have the boots, but the government gave them the boots. And that's what makes us Democrats. We know that everybody in this country may not have an equal opportunity, and that